Hi everyone! Today we're talking about Enneagram Type 9 and how to grow in confidence as this type or as someone who has 9 as a wing or as part of their core tri-type. So all about that in the next few minutes. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's dive in. So this is part of my series where I'm talking about the 9 Enneagram types and tools or perspectives that the types can use in order to develop their level of self-confidence. I've talked about Enneagram types 3, 1, and 6 so far, and today I'm going to be talking about type 9. Similarly to what I said in my previous videos, even though most of the advice that I'm going to be sharing in this video is for people who are a type 9 or have a strong Enneagram 9 component, a wing or tri-type, this will still be useful to most of you because the Enneagram describes 9 tendencies that everyone has to a certain extent. Yes, your core type and your wing and your tri-type will be much stronger for you. There will be more there for you to learn and discover and use, but all of the 9 tendencies exist in every single human being, and they are all fundamental human aspects. Okay? So with that disclaimer, let's jump into Enneagram 9. So, 9 is known as the peacemaker. This means that we're talking about a type that is very much focused on maintaining harmony, maintaining peace, running away from conflicts. And one of the biggest sources for stress and a lack of self-confidence in the 9 is this idea that if they truly and fully step into their role as a person or as a professional, this could cause certain conflicts with people around them, and they are probably the type that is the most afraid of conflicts. They are the most conflict avoidant type. They are afraid that if they really get into a conflict with someone that they care about especially, then there is a strong likelihood that that person will kind of separate from them to a certain extent. They have this deep fear of separation. And this is also, ironically, something that can trigger them to feel like they are losing their independence because they are part of the gut triad, and independence and autonomy are key concepts there. Now, what is specific for Enneagram 9 when it comes to self-confidence is this deeply ingrained belief that they cannot really say what they want. They cannot really ask for the things that are important to them. A lot of 9s appear to be extremely chill, relaxed, tolerant, almost as if everything is fine for them. They're not upset. This is not an issue for them. It's not a problem. We can do whatever it is that you want. We can do whatever it is that is best for the other person, for my friend or for my colleague or for my romantic partner or for my children, and so on and so forth, and not what really is important to me. And for a lot of 9s, it is even difficult to recognize or to say to themselves that, oh, this is important to me, or this is something that I want, or this is something that I need. A lot of the times they will suppress these things similarly to how a type 2 might do it. But there is an even stronger disconnect sometimes from their true desires, from their true opinions about things, which is why a lot of 9s seem to be very flexible, almost as if they don't have an opinion or they don't really care so much whether someone goes this way or that way. And sometimes this can help them a lot because it makes them kind of more likely to go with the flow and adapt to certain circumstances and certain relationships, and this can be helpful to their level of self-confidence. However, on a deeper level, unless an Enneagram Type 9 really looks in the mirror and says, hey, this is my opinion, this is how I see things, this is what's important to me, this is what I need, they will start experiencing more and more dissociation from their true selves and often feel like they don't deserve to say what they want. They don't deserve to voice their opinion. They don't deserve to kind of be firm and stable on a certain trajectory, may it be personal or professional. So they will go around in circles. They will engage in a lot of avoidant behaviors. Avoidance is such a big thing for 9s. This discomfort of dealing with confrontation and conflict often makes them avoid things and avoid people and avoid problems. And because they avoid, they procrastinate. So what I've seen with 9s that I know in my personal life is that they keep avoid dealing with certain issues that they have, especially professionally or academically, or issues that might come like around the household, things like that. But this will not disappear. They will try to suppress it, and they will try to not really have to deal with the internal conflict or the external conflict of that issue, but the problem will not disappear. It will stay somewhat in the back of their minds, and it will keep stressing them in the background. And because it stresses them in the background, it also takes a toll. It has a negative impact on their sense of self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence. Now, what happens when you procrastinate things a lot and when you avoid your problems a lot? Well, things can blow up at a certain point. You might not have the results that you want at work. And then because you don't have the results that you want, you start saying, well, I'm not good enough, I'm incompetent, I'm this, I'm that, and therefore your self-confidence will go down. Or you might have other problems that you're avoiding and procrastinating, and then when you're kind of like ready to start working on them, it's too late. Things don't go according to plan. You're unhappy with the result. You have even bigger issues now because you procrastinated things for too long, and that kind of blows up in your face. And then your self-confidence goes down. So this is a really core aspect for Enneagram 9s to really first recognize. I think the biggest and most helpful tool for Enneagram 9s when it comes to their self-confidence is recognizing, seeing and naming. What am I doing? What am I avoiding? What am I running away from? What conflict am I trying to suppress? And how is that impacting my life? How is that impacting my results? How is that impacting my relationships or my work? It might be really uncomfortable at first, but you know how they say, when you face your fears, the fears go down a lot. Avoidance is an anxiety-driven behavior. This is what humans do. When we are anxious about something, we avoid it. But the irony of this, or the weird thing about this, is that the more you avoid something, the more scary it is. The more you avoid and procrastinate dealing with an issue, the more overwhelming it is. And counterintuitively, when you face whatever it is that you're scared of, it doesn't have so much power over you anymore. And this is a skill that it is really important for Enneagram Type 9 to develop. Recognizing what it is that you're avoiding and taking steps forward to face that. And there is a really cool tool from developmental psychology that I'm going to put in here. It talks about the fact that there are 3 different zones when we are wanting to grow or develop in a certain way. We have the comfort zone, we have the learning zone, and we have the danger zone. The comfort zone is the part where you are really comfortable. Nothing is challenging, you're used to doing those things, you're safe. The learning zone is the area where you are a little bit challenged. You are doing a few new things, a few extra things that are a bit scary, but it's not overwhelmingly scary. And the danger zone is the area where things are completely overwhelming and it's way, way too far away from your comfort zone. And the key to growing and developing as people is to kind of regularly put ourselves in the learning zone, not in the danger zone, in the learning zone. And a question that you can ask yourself to see if you are there or not is, what is one extra thing that I can do that is a bit more than I feel is feasible or doable? And just put that target a little bit higher than what you're comfortable with. That will place you into the learning zone, and that will help you to keep growing. And this is something that I also call the confidence-competence loop. When we are placing ourselves in the learning zone, we are developing competence. When we develop competence, our confidence increases a little bit because we see that, hey, I managed to do this. It's actually okay. Because our confidence grows, we now have even more desire and motivation to work and to do things. So our competence increases. And again, because the competence increases and we're happy about it, our confidence grows. And it's a positive spiral that goes upwards. And this is something that I really put out there for all of you, but especially for 9s when you're trying to develop your ability to face conflicts. and deal with things that you'd normally procrastinate. Try to put yourself into the learning zone as much as you can and gently push yourself forward, because as you see your competence in dealing with things head on increase, your confidence will also increase. And that will have ripple positive effects on your sense of self-worth. And this is something that will connect Enneagram Type 9s to Type 3, which is where Type 9 moves when it comes to integration. It will push you to have a more assertive, direct, and extroverted attitude towards life, which is something that a lot of 9s can really develop. Okay, so these were some of my thoughts on how you can grow in self-confidence as an Enneagram 9. Like I mentioned before, I'm a professional coach with a background in psychology and psychotherapy, and I offer self-awareness coaching sessions aimed at supporting people in enhancing their level of self-awareness, self-confidence, and satisfaction. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check out the link in the description below. And as always, thank you for being with me, thank you for watching this video, and see you next time with another video on typology.